We continue now at the top of Daf Kuf Beis Amud Aleph and Meseches Bava Basra. This is Bava Basra Daf 102a. The Gemara is continuing to bring a Mishnah in Meseches Nazir. The Mishnah says, Motza Shlosh, if a person finds 3 dead bodies that are lying parallel to one another, as opposed to just finding 1 or 2 dead bodies, so then already there's a concern that this might be an ancient cemetery. Im yesh beinehen me'arba ad shmona, if you have between the bodies from between 4 and 8 amos, harezu shechunas kavaros, that's already considered to be like a cemetery. Ubodek mimenu lahala nesram am, you have to check from there onward. You have to check 20 amos to see if there are any other dead bodies. Motza echad besof esram am, if you find another dead body within 20 amos, bodek mimenu lahalan chaf am, you have to check again another 20 amos. Sheraglayim ledavar, because it seems clear, it seems that it is true that this might be an ancient cemetery, and that's why you have to check in this fashion. And the Mishnah concludes, She'ilu mitchila. Now, if originally you had found just one of these, let's say you were checking the 20 amos, and you found that lone body, so if She'ilu mitchila matz, if you just found that one without the other 3 initially, not lo v'yas tfusa, so then you could just take that body and the earth surrounding it, you would not have to assume that this might be an ancient cemetery, but since you found 3 bodies, so now again you have to check this entire area to make sure it's not an ancient cemetery. And the Gemara continues, Amar Mar, the master said, quoting what we said above in the Mishnah Nazir, Me'ar b've'ad shmon, it said from 4 amos until 8 amos. Moni, who is the author of this Mishnah in Meseches Nazir? I Rabbanon, if you're going to say it's the Rabbanon, Ha'amri Dalet amos al sheish, they said when you have this cave with the kuchen, that the dimensions of the cave are 4 amos by 6 amos. And again over here it says if you find 3 bodies, so the distance between the outermost bodies should be from between 4 and 8 amos, that would imply that the cave is 4 by 8. And I Rabbi Shimon, if you're going to say that the author of this Mishnah is Rabbi Shimon, Ha'amar Sheishal Shmona, he said that the dimensions of the cave where you have the kuchen are 6 by 8 amos. So again, this is 4 by 8, not 6 by 8. And the Gemara answers, Liolam Rabbi Shimon, he really, the author of this Mishnah Meseches Nazir is Rabbi Shimon. V'ha'itanu the Tanya, but it follows the Tana in the following brisa. Mitzon Ritzufin, let's say you find the bodies next to one another. Ve'ein beinein midalad amos ad ches, and let's say you don't have between 4 and 8 amos between them, meaning they're much closer together. So then we say yesh lehen tefusa, so then we say you just remove the bodies and the earth surrounding them. Ve'ein lohen shechunas kvar, so you don't assume that's a cemetery. If they're there so close together, you assume they're just there temporarily, and they were going to be put properly in a cemetery, in a graveyard later on. And the Brisa continues, Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda Omer Mishum Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon ben Yehuda says in the name of Rabbi Shimon, Rowan esa imsa'iyim ki ilu ein, and we look at the middle ones like they're not there. V'hashar mitzdarfen midalid v'yad ches, and the rest of them, they can join together from between 4 and 8 amos. And the idea over here is that in this Brisa, Rabbi Shimon is saying midalid v'yad ches, he's not saying mivav v'yad ches, and so you see that it's a machlokas tanoim, what exactly Rabbi Shimon holds. Does he hold 4 by 8 or 6 by 8? And again, the Mishnah Meseches Nazir will be following Rabbi Shimon, but the Rabbi Shimon that says 4 by 8. But the Gemara continues, B'mayu kimtak Rabbi Shimon, but how can you say that the Mishnah Meseches Nazir is Rabbi Shimon? Amos Seifa, let's look at the end of the Mishnah Meseches Nazir, what we quoted above. It said, Bodek hemenu lahalan esrim am, if you have a suspicion that it might be an ancient graveyard, you have to check from there and onward 20 amos. And the question is, how do we get to that 20 amos? So Moni, who's the author of that line? Rabbi Shimon, if you're saying it's Rabbi Shimon, so where do you get 20 amos from? Esrim v'tartan having, it should actually add up to 22 amos. We'll see the Rashbam in a moment. And Rabbanan, if you're going to say that last line in the Mishnah is actually following the Rabbanan, it also shouldn't be 20 amos. Tamne sari havian, it actually should be 18 amos. And the Rashbam explains, Chaf Beis Havian, again, according to Rabbi Shimon, it should be 22 amos, because Shtei Ma'oros Shel Ches Ches, you have 2 caves, and each are 8 amos long, and the 2 caves are surrounding, they're around a Chotzer, which is V'sheish the Chotzer, that's 6 amos of the Chotzer, so 8 plus 8 plus 6, Harei Chaf Beis, that comes out to 22. V'i Rabbanon Muki Lahach Seif, and if you're going to say the end of the Mishnah is actually following the Rabbanon, Afagav de Reisha Vadei Lo Asya Rabbanon, even though for sure the Reisha does not follow the Rabbanon in Meseches Nazir, Ha'amri B'mas Nisan, but they said in the Mishnah, Orech Ma'or, they said that the cave is 6. V'tamne sari havin, so then it should come out as a total of 18, because it should be 6, 6, and 6. So therefore, Yud Beis the Shnei Ma'aros v'sheish the Chotzer. Again, it's 12 of the 2 caves, 6 plus 6, and then you have 6 of the Chotzer. So again, you're never going to get to the 20 amos. And the Gemara continues and answers, Liolam Rabbanon, he really, that line in the Mishnah is the Rabbanon. And so again, the question is, why is it 20 amos? It should be 18. Uchagon de Badak Balachsona, the situation is that you're measuring, but you're measuring diagonally. And the idea over here is that if you measure one of the 2 caves diagonally, so it's going to add 2 amos, and instead of 18 amos, it will be 20 amos. But the Gemara asks, but if you're measuring one of the caves diagonally, hanami balachsona, why not measure the other diagonally as well? And then esrim betarti havi, and then you actually end up with 22 amos. And the Gemara answers to that, Chada balachson amrinan will measure one diagonally, but Trey balachson lo amrinan we're not going to measure two diagonally, and that's why it comes out to 20 amos according to the Rabbanon, and we will continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Kuf Beis Amid Beis.